This program is part of the Cosmic Potato Podcast Network. For more shows like this, visit our website at cosmicpotatonetwork.com.
Watching television, watching television. Watching television, watching television. I need all the image, I need all the sound. I know the info right into my mind.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Try by Pilot. And this is the show where we judge an entire series of television and the work of hundreds on one episode. I'm Bill Lynch.
I'm Casey Lynch. Wait, what? I'm Elizabeth Lynch.
It's a good thing Casey's not on this one because he hasn't watched any of these shows.
Yeah. We miss you, Casey.
We're doing a recap.
Recap.
Only one extra R?
I don't know. I was doing like a...
Oh, I know what you were doing. You just didn't do it that well.
Well, I'm going to just go in the other room, I think.
If you haven't heard one of our recaps before, we take a break from reviewing pilots for a week.
Yeah.
We go back, we look at the last batch of shows, and kind of catch up on them. We'll let you know if we watched them, what we thought. We'll tell you if they've been renewed or canceled. And that's pretty much it. We haven't done one of these for a while. It was January 2020.
It's been like 6 months.
Well before the COVID occurred.
Little did we know.
Yeah. So, first thing we always do is reach way back. Way back. I didn't mean to physically reach my arm back. I was just putting my hand up on a chair.
So I reached back. Like
Way
the
back.
way back of the station wagon?
Exactly.
Did you ever sit in the way back?
Of course.
Did you guys not have a station wagon?
We had a station wagon,
You
and I sat in the
did?
way back. Of course.
What color was your station wagon?
I think it was like, I think it was blue. I think it was like light blue, but like old light blue.
All old light blue?
Old.
I know, but was the
Like,
whole thing blue, or did
I
you
think
have
there
the
was
fake
two-
wood panel?
I'm trying to remember, and I don't think we did. I think that's just in my mind from seeing it so often.
So we had a white one with the fake wood panel, and I think the seats were burgundy, and I think that was Chevy. I think
Wow.
it was a Chevy. It had to have been a GM car because my pop-up worked for GM, and no one was
yeah.
allowed to buy not a GM car until I bought a Prius.
Yeah, I want to say ours was a Ford, but our minivan was a Ford, so I might just be confusing it with that. But yeah, we
Probably.
fully sat in the back with no seat belts and...
No seatbelts. Oh,
Oh, there were no seats in the back. We just climbed in the back.
what? Where did you guys get this car?
I don't know.
Did you buy it off the side of the road?
My dad probably found it in a dumpster.
Yeah, Dad, that's probably true. This'll do.
Is this going in the garbage? You guys don't want this car anymore?
Can I haul my pottery?
Oh, you could have it. The seatbelts don't work. Oh, if you're getting rid of it.
Listen, if it was moving the stuff he was selling from point A to point B,
Bingo bango.
bingo bango.
So, where this all started from, we're going way back to talk about shows that happened before our last recap, but that weren't decided on yet.
Okay.
All Rise on CBS.
Whoa, that is going way back.
Way back, baby. Do you think
Canceled.
it was renewed for season 2?
You're kidding me.
All Rise. 56% on Rotten Tomatoes, 6.4 on IMDb. Not great numbers. But hey,
Good enough to be renewed.
on CBS.
For their sake, I hope they already recorded it.
Also on CBS, Carol's Second Act, starring Patricia Heaton.
Renewed.
Canceled.
Ah,
You're doing very poorly already.
poorly. Oh, and I don't even have Casey to beat me. I'm just losing.
You're losing against yourself. 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, 5.4 on IMDb.
Even worse numbers than
Yeah,
All
I mean,
Rise.
It
wasn't good.
It wasn't good. Almost Family on Fox.
Canceled.
Canceled.
Because, what's his face? I mean, it was bad anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Remember we talked about this?
Oh, yeah, the
That
fucking
fucker
creeper.
was
That little fucker.
was accused of sexual assault.
24% on Rotten Tomatoes. Pathetic.
Ooh.
Pathetic.
Probably would have been canceled anyway. But let's just blame it on Timothy Hutton.
The Unicorn on CBS.
Renewed.
It was renewed for season 2.
Okay.
Did we watch all of that?
No.
Okay.
We watched some of it.
We watched some episodes. It's okay.
It's all right.
It's okay. There's some funny characters.
Yeah.
There's some cute moments. Some of the cute moments are not that well executed, I think. But hey, it's better than Almost Family, Carol's second act, and All Rise.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Stomp Down!
Stone Town renewed.
Renewed for season 2.
Yeah.
92% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
Dublin.
I guess I should have kept up with that one.
Yeah. So I never watched anything besides the pilot. Did you watch a couple episodes?
Of Stumptown?
Yeah.
I watched like one or two more.
One or two more, and it was what?
It was all right.
All right. Okay.
I think maybe if I had stayed on with like the storyline, I didn't watch it in order. But,
Okay.
you know, I can't focus on too much.
Dublin Murders on Stars.
Renewed.
There's actually no decision yet.
Okay.
This is the last holdout from our last round that still doesn't have a fucking decision.
Okay.
So maybe next time we'll update on that.
Yeah.
Although, who the fuck knows, since I'm sure they're not producing anything right now.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're moving in.
Wear your masks, people, because there's no fucking shows.
We need more TV to be made. Now we're moving into the real meat here. Everything since our last recap.
Let's sink our teeth into it.
Zoeys Extraordinary playlist.
That was renewed.
It was renewed for season 2. Did you know that?
I did know that because I don't know why, but I follow it on Instagram.
Oh, really?
I've never watched the show again. But I was literally just watching a clip before we started recording because I was scrolling through Instagram and saw Jane Levy singing something to Lauren Graham.
75% on Rotten Tomatoes, 8.2 on IMDb. We didn't follow it. I guess it has its audience.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's fine.
Spoiler alert. It's actually following on Instagram sometimes makes me think like maybe I would like this. Maybe I should go back. Maybe it gets better. Like,
Yeah.
Even though I didn't really like the pilot. But there's a spoiler alert, and her dad, I think, does die.
What?
At the end of the first season, yeah.
What the fuck?
I said spoiler alert. You're not going to watch it.
No, I'm not. The Morning Show on Apple TV Plus.
Renewed?
It was renewed for season 2, but of course it's been delayed.
Right.
As with a lot of these. Only a 61% on Rotten Tomatoes, 8.4 on IMDb. I would have been shocked if this fucking cast, if they wanted to do a season 2 and Apple didn't pick it up.
Right.
With the
yeah,
cast they have for
yeah.
this. Who was it? Reese Witherspoon, Jennifer Aniston, Steve Carell, Mark Duplass. I know that name like doesn't mean anything in the context of the other 3, but like.
No, I mean, I think it has some.
I think there was
It's not nobody.
Somebody else too.
Yeah, I can't
But
remember.
yeah, huge cast. We did not continue watching it.
Yeah, I mean, just because it was not convenient, we don't have Apple Plus.
Yeah.
It's not that convenient for us to watch it. Same with Dublin Murders, unfortunately, because we don't have
Yeah.
stars.
I thought we have it now.
Yes, but no, we do have stars, but it's not free on demand.
Oh, son of a bitch.
But I think they probably like take those like out from a paywall every now and then. So I might check again.
Yeah, they might take those out from a paywall.
Right? Is that what they say? Is that what people say? Or is that just like a podcast thing? We don't have a paywall. You can listen to all of our episodes. You can download them all the time. Rate, review them all the time. You don't have to pay for them. Stitcher, iTunes.
Apple Podcasts,
Apple
it's called now.
Podcasts.
God,
Oh,
this
all
is
right,
why
whatever.
I do this part. The Outsider on HBO was not meant to have more than one season.
Yeah.
It just told the story of the Stephen King novel.
We watched all of that.
We did watch all of it.
We were into it.
Of course, a lot of people liked it, so they're like, do a season 2 anyway, make it an
No.
anthology series.
I don't think they should.
Yeah, I don't think they should
It
either.
doesn't need to be an anthology.
Yeah.
People just like, I often think when something is an anthology series, it loses something. It's never as good as the first one. What is as good as the first one? Let's talk about this.
I don't know.
Let's get into it.
I mean, obviously, American Horror Story has or had, I don't know anymore, but had a huge following.
Okay.
For many years.
I can't really speak to that because I only watched one season, which was apparently the worst season.
Right.
And I didn't finish it.
That's the one I watched, too.
Right.
I did finish it, regrettably, because
Yeah.
I did not really enjoy it that much.
But I've
it
heard
was,
wonderful things about the other seasons.
yeah, we watched the Carnival season,
Yeah.
which a couple like super fans have told us oh, that was wrong.
Right.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
But people like that.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know how people view the second season of The Terror.
Because we didn't finish it.
We started to. We got a couple episodes in, and it just trailed off.
I mean, that's not necessarily because they did a bad job. We didn't have the time to watch it. I mean, we just lost time.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, because you asked, what anthology series has something that can follow up on a great first season. True Detective, I absolutely love the first season, absolutely hated the second season. Mm-hmm. Didn't watch the third, but I've heard that the third is very, very good.
I have heard that also.
I've heard nothing but good things about the third season. So I think theoretically an anthology series could work. I just don't know.
I guess I'm just bothered by the fact that people have to be like, bring it back. I want to hear the story again. And it's like, can't you just let it lie? Like,
right.
It was a good story.
Right.
But what else do we need to know about that?
Yeah.
Nothing. Why try to force a...
Yeah, I think the issue is a lot of the anthology series that exist weren't intended to be that, and then they force them, and of course they're not as good.
Right.
But maybe if they're planned out a little bit more.
And I think there are some series, not necessarily anthology, but like, for example, Big Little Lies we watched all of the first season. It was great.
Yes.
It was only intended to be one season. The director didn't want to do anymore. And then everybody wanted it.
Yep.
And so they did it. And it was terrible.
Yeah, it was really not good.
The only thing...
Are they doing a third season?
I hope not.
Ugh.
Honestly, Reese Witherspoon is going to be very overbooked. But like, I think the only thing that really saved that whole season for me was...
Laura Dern's character?
Yeah, Laura Dern's character.
Renata
Klein. She was great. She was fantastic. Wasn't nominated for anything, was she?
I don't think so.
Which
Not that I heard.
I think was a crime. But the season itself was not good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think sometimes things are forced a little bit. I thought the second season of Dead to Me was not as good as the first.
It was not.
Now, I'm getting away from this. Like, that was not an anthology. Like, I'm just saying, like, sometimes I think I just wanted an opportunity to say I didn't think it was as good as the first.
we can talk about those shows later.
Yeah.
Indebted on CBS.
Indebted.
The Fran
canceled.
Drescher vehicle. Of course it was canceled. It was fucking awful. 25% on Rotten Tomatoes, 4.4 on IMDb, and one of the worst pilots we've ever watched.
Yeah. Pretty bad.
All right. Here are your big ones. Back to back. October Faction on Netflix. Canceled or renewed?
Canceled.
Canceled.
Okay, good.
33% Rotten Tomatoes. Lock and Key on Netflix.
Renewed.
It was renewed.
I've heard a little bit more about that.
66%. Oh, have you?
And just like anecdotally, people saying, like, on one of the Facebook pages I'm on, someone was looking for suggestions of shows to start, and like a couple people were like, I'm watching Lock and Key on Facebook, and I was like, ugh.
I mean, I didn't like it. It was
better than October Faction.
It was better than October Faction.
Yeah.
It at least had some kind of interesting concept, which October Faction did not have.
And more likable characters.
Yeah. Ragnarok on Netflix.
Renewed.
It was renewed.
Yay.
We already knew that, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yay, Janice. Shout out to Janice.
Yeah.
Because we know she's listening, and maybe the only one who keeps listening during this whole pandemic. Super fan.
What?
I'm just kidding, but I know that she does listen during this pandemic. You can cut this out.
Oh boy. Jesus Christ. Elizabeth and I watched all of Ragnarok on Netflix. I think it was only 6 episodes. Mm-hmm. Norwegian language series about a teen and some coming of age teen stuff, but also he's a fucking god.
Yeah. This was cool.
It was cool, yeah.
I liked this.
Yeah, me too.
This was a very cool way to talk about something we all learned about in school, and like, you know.
You learned about the
You didn't learn about Greek gods in school? Of course you did.
In what class? I guess English?
Yeah, I think English.
I don't know. I think it's
Yeah.
more of just like a cultural...
No, we definitely learned about it in school.
Okay. If you say so.
I swear I did.
Okay. But anyway, we watched all of it. It's coming back to Netflix. I don't know when. Dispatches from...
Can a teacher reach out to us and let us know?
Yeah.
Like, if you teach this, like, what unit this is in? I know it's not an entire year, but at some point I learned about Greek mythology in school.
I guess in some literature class,
Yeah.
maybe you like...
It wasn't like a whole semester, but like a unit
yeah.
for certainly. We read Canterbury Tales. Why not read about Greek mythology?
I suppose. Dispatches from Elsewhere on
Cancel.
AMC. This might become an anthology again.
Okay.
It was only intended to be one season.
It wasn't that interesting. We really trailed off. I went into that with really giving it a lot of credit and intentions of watching it and trying to like it.
Same.
I thought it was going to get better and more interesting. I didn't think it was bad, but something was missing.
Isn't boring bad, though? Isn't a boring
Yes.
TV series a bad TV series?
It wasn't bad in a very obvious way, but I think when
Sure.
it came down to it, it was kind of boring. And
Yeah.
that's just plain and simple. That's just what it was.
Yeah, I mean, what an intriguing premise. There were parts of the pilot where you were really like, whoa, this is fucking cool and different. And then they just floundered around for 4 episodes.
Yeah, and I think that some stuff was really trying so hard to be different. Just trying really hard to be interesting, but not really succeeding.
Yeah.
And just spending, I think, an entire episode on each character really dragged it out too long. And we
Yeah.
didn't get past those 4 main characters, and then we stopped watching it.
Right. Yeah, I think it was...
So we don't even know what happened.
I think it was 10 episodes, and we watched the first 4, which centered around the 4 main characters. I think every episode was someone's name.
Yeah.
And then the 5th episode was supposed to be the name of this girl that you were searching for the first 4, which was supposed to be a cliffhanger to draw you into episode 5. And at that point, we just didn't care.
We didn't care anymore.
We didn't care. So, 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, 6.6 on IMDb. Not great. I'm sure it has its fans. Maybe it got more interesting, but if you don't hook me in 4 episodes, man, sorry.
Yeah, we really gave it a lot of chances.
We gave it a fair shake.
We sure did. But which is too bad because I really liked the one character.
Yes.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
The young woman.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name now. Simone,
Yeah, Simone.
played by Eve Linley.
But, none of the other characters really drew me in. I just wish that they had kind of condensed some of those stories together and continued to tell it. It was a different way of storytelling, and I just don't think it worked. They were giving it a shot. I mean, let's focus on each story rather than weaving these stories throughout the whole series so that you learn a little bit more. Instead, they were weaving the plot through their stories.
Yeah. I don't want to just blanket say that kind of thing can't work, but in this case it didn't because...
Right.
First of all, 3 of the 4 characters were not that interesting.
No.
In each episode, the overarching story progresses a little bit, but you also get repetition from the previous episode and how it was happening from a different perspective. And it just felt tedious at times.
Yes. And I think that's something that this way of storytelling could work and be interesting. So, like you said, not that it can't. They just didn't do it right.
Yeah. All right. Baghdad Central.
I don't know. Renewed?
very possible season 2.
Okay.
In quotes.
Okay.
90% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's been very well received. We like the pilot.
Yeah, it was good.
Never got around to watching any more, but
Yeah.
it was a good pilot. Zombo.
I don't know. I didn't watch that.
There's still no fucking decision.
When was that made?
I don't know. I think it came out
2016.
I think it came out in the UK of like October last year
Okay.
or something. And like I check every few weeks and there's never a decision made, which makes me think that they probably won't do a season 2,
Yeah.
which is such a bummer. It was such a fun show.
Yeah.
6.9.
Did you
on
watch
IMDb.
any more of it?
I watched the whole thing.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't watch any of it.
Oh.
I wasn't on that episode.
You weren't on that episode. That was Casey and Kelly.
Yeah.
I finished that entire thing before we even recorded that episode. I mean, it was
really that good.
it's a British comedy, so it was like 6 20-minute episodes.
Yeah,
It was so
yeah.
fast. I was like, fuck this, I'm just gonna watch it. So stay tuned on that. I don't have high hopes for it being renewed, but fingers crossed. Vagrant Queen on Sci-Fi.
What the fuck was that? Vagrant,
What the fuck was that?
Vagrant Queen.
Vagrant
Oh
Queen.
my god. Was that
With the guy from Schitt's Creek? That's how I'm describing that show.
Canceled.
It was canceled. Not only was it canceled, but they preempted the 4th episode and then bumped it from prime time to 11 p.m. at night. Like, how bad do you have to be for Sci-Fi Channel to do that?
Yeah, what did they put in its place?
It's not like NBC is preempting you. Sci-Fi Channel is preempting you.
They're like, let's just play Sharknado at 8 and
Yeah.
put this on again.
And here's why all these scores I give mean absolutely nothing, because this has a 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm so glad we give these scores. That's so funny.
4.8 on
Doesn't mean
IMDb.
anything.
Yeah, because there's like 8 reviews, and it's people who are like, I fucking love Vagrant Queen. I need to give it 5 stars everywhere.
Yeah.
Canceled.
It's just like it's just like the main alien and like the guy from Schitt's Creek.
Mrs. America.
Renewed?
It was just a miniseries.
Oh, okay.
One season. I only bring it up because it's been very highly reviewed. 95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'd like to get back to that one.
So would I. We're not
I
going to.
don't see it happening. unless we take a break, call this the last 2 years season 1. Let ourselves catch up on some TV and watch it for pleasure, and then get back into season 2. And like, I don't know.
TV for pleasure's over.
It's all business. Anything for pleasure is over.
The Great on Hulu.
Renewed?
No decision yet.
Okay.
It was originally pitched as a 6-season idea to Hulu.
Really?
So it's suspected. Yeah, I mean, Catherine the Great did a
Wow.
lot.
Okay, so that's interesting. I didn't know that.
I like this one more than you, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it, but I just don't see myself watching it.
Yeah. So at 88% on Rotten Tomatoes, 8.1 on IMDb, pretty solid scores. I intended to continue watching this.
Yeah.
I liked it enough where I was like, I think I'm actually going to take the time to watch this one, and I haven't watched a single other
Yeah.
episode.
Well, I guess it's kind of like how the what's the show on Netflix? Is it The Crown?
That is a show.
That keeps on going, that I've been interested in watching, but that goes on and they recast Queen Elizabeth with different, like as she ages and like all the different, so maybe maybe they had a similar idea there.
Oh, interesting.
Which I love the idea of, and I've heard excellent things about The Crown, but
Oh, I didn't realize that.
yeah,
Snowpiercer on TNT.
canceled.
Renewed for season 2.
Really?
But it's been delayed, of course.
Right.
62%, 6.4. It's like, not great, not terrible.
Who cares? Because
Hey,
what's it called?
Vagrant Queen at 100%.
Vagrant Queen at 100%. It means nothing to me now.
Should I not even mention them? I feel like they give like a little bit of
They do. That one was just
Context?
ridiculous.
Space Force. on
Canceled.
Netflix. Nothing official yet, but they have started doing preliminary work on season 2, which I don't know what that
Really?
means. Yeah.
They should just give it up.
So 39% on Rotten Tomatoes, 6.8 on IMDb. Just anecdotally on Facebook, I see people like, "Oh yeah, Space Force was great," which like doesn't mean much because people are idiots.
Right.
Not that you're an idiot if you like Space Force, but we watched.
You are an idiot if you like Space Force.
I don't know. We watched the second episode and it was not that funny.
No, it wasn't. Neither one of us laughed. And then like the next night we were like getting into bed and we were both like, I think you said to me, I don't think I'm that interested in watching Space Force anymore. And I was like, I was going to say the same thing. I thought it would be an easy thing to just watch.
Yeah, sure.
Right before bed, but...
Who doesn't love Steve Carell? He's great. He wasn't that good in this.
No, I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he was thinking. I think he made a really strange character choice.
Yes.
In the first take that he did, and then couldn't go back. And he had this like very weird voice, and the storyline wasn't funny.
Yeah.
In the second episode, it was trying a little too hard, and it seemed like. I don't know. It was trying a little too hard, and it wasn't trying hard enough. Because it seemed like it was like a bunch of like well-known actors, like character actors, that everybody likes, and they're like, let's just fuck around and do this show. People are gonna love it. It's gonna be on Netflix. Steve Carell.
Yeah.
Let's just do it. And it was not funny.
Yeah. We watched The Politician, which has already had a season 2, but I thought I should mention that season 3 was just announced. But it could be years away because the main character in the pilot episode is running for class president of his high school. Mm-hmm. In season 2, he is running for state senate of New York.
Oh, okay.
Which is, I don't know how many years in the future. Many.
Okay.
And in season 3, the creators want him to be running for president of the United States. And so they literally want the actor to look older. So they're waiting years to make the show.
Wow.
It has a 48% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 7.5 on IMDb. I don't think this is like a fucking transcendent show for them to be waiting years to make this.
Yeah, but
hey, do your thing.
We know that those numbers don't mean anything. And I don't know. I haven't watched any more of it, but I do intend on watching more.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that one.
I did really like it.
I didn't entirely dislike it, but I probably won't watch it. 911 Lone Star, I just want to mention it's already been renewed for season 2.
Nice. I didn't expect anything less.
73% on Rotten Tomatoes. I expect that score to go up.
This is going to become a 911 Lone Star podcast, right?
Listen, make yourselves a Rotten Tomato. I wish we had the poll that some like big podcasts do where I could be like, everyone go onto Rotten Tomatoes, make an account, and give 911 Lone Star 100%. Certified fresh. Battlestar Galactica we just did. Obviously, that's an old show.
Right.
I just wanted to mention that the new series, which we just briefly touched upon, I read it's been announced that it's going to be almost a continuation of the old series.
Okay.
A reimagined world, but kind of a continuation of the old series with new characters.
How many seasons was the one we watched?
I think it's 4.
Okay.
And so we just watched this one a week before we're recording this podcast. And so we haven't done anything else. We intend to go back and watch the miniseries and then watch the show.
Right.
We'll see if it happens.
After we sleep train our toddler to go to sleep in his room by himself, we might have more than 1 hour each night.
Yeah. To watch 2 episodes of Community. Last week we watched Warrior Nun. That just premiered on Netflix, so there's no decision on that.
Right.
Season 2. I'll just say, in between us recording that episode and this episode, I looked up another article that kind of says the same thing that I complained about being disappointed. It just praises the warrior nun side of the story and says, like, the lore is so cool. Mm-hmm. Every time there's like the Order of the Cruciform Sword on TV, which I guess is these nuns, like it's just like thrilling, and the costume
really?
the costume design is so good, and you get deeper into like these individual nuns, and one of them is pissed off because she was supposed to be the next one to receive the halo.
Oh,
And so she's
okay.
pissed. Then there's another one. I guess
We really didn't touch upon those nuns when we talked about our episode.
they're so briefly shown.
Right. But there was like clearly some sort of relationship between the one who died and one of the other nuns.
Yeah, you see like there's 3 or 4 main nuns that
Yeah.
they're going to focus on. Then another one of the nuns, I guess the one that was friends with the leader, she's struggling with the fact that her mom is serving a life sentence in prison for defending herself while black, is what this article says. I don't know what that means exactly. But then they say that's like 50 or 60% of the show, and the rest of it is just bland teen drama that
Really?
they don't even really try on.
That's disappointing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh,
So here's the thing. When we talk about these shows, like I watch a show and I'm like, I don't like this, I'm not going to watch it. And then we talk about it, and then there's things where I'm like, oh, what's going to happen? Now I kind of want to know. And like, so they're like, this was one of those shows for me, but it just like, there wasn't enough there.
Yeah.
So even you saying all that stuff about those nuns makes me think like, oh, that could be so cool.
yeah. And I'll just say, I'm reading this right off of Collider.com. It's a Vinny Mancuso article. I just want to give him credit because I'm just going to read this fucking verbatim.
Okay.
There's a mission at the tail end of episode 4 in which 4 of the sister warriors, which is the warrior nuns, recover some stolen holy artifacts, and it feels like the full realization of the show with a campy ass name like Warrior Nun. It's quippy and quick and filled with a mixture of unique costuming and genuinely impressive fight choreography.
When is this? Which episode?
Episode 4.
Okay.
So we're not going to get to it.
Yeah.
But that sounds fucking great.
Well, let's just watch it.
Let's just watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he says the other half is empty air. It's like surface level, nothing really going on.
Why didn't they just make it a movie?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't watch it then. We wouldn't
Right.
have seen it at all because we
Right.
never watch movies.
Right, exactly. So at some point we'll give an update on Warrior Nun, but that has been a recap of all the shows from our last batch. There are a few shows that we reviewed a long time ago that are still running, such as Dead to Me, which Elizabeth mentioned.
Right.
We watched season 2 of that. It was not very good. It certainly wasn't season 1.
No, it wasn't season 1.
The
It ended, and I said to Bill, like later, I was like, "Are we gonna watch season 3?" Because it ended with this cliffhanger that you were like, "Come on!" Like your eyes roll so far back in your head.
Yeah. I mean, we both enjoyed season 1 so much, as many people did. We were committed to season 2. We start watching it. You're a couple episodes in. All right, it's not the same as season 1. A couple episodes more, you're like, wow, I'm really getting tired of these characters. The story is so ridiculous at this point.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, well, there's only a couple episodes left. I guess I'll finish it. And then you finish it and you're like, man, that was not great.
Right.
I mean, the lead actresses give amazing performances again, but it's like the same performance.
Yeah.
I mean, they cry and or scream throughout every single minute of every episode.
You're exaggerating a little bit.
A very little.
I know that bothered you a lot, but I think you're exaggerating a little bit.
I was really fed up with it by the end. So, yeah, I don't know if we'll watch season 3.
Yeah, I don't know. Season 1 was so good, and it was like, of course we're going to watch season 2. But I'm afraid it's like a similar thing with
Yeah.
Big Little Lies. We didn't mention, we watched When They See Us.
There were a bunch of things that I didn't mention on here that were like older shows or
Yeah, because that
clearly-
was older, so obviously it was just like a mini series.
Yeah.
Which we still haven't finished. We've watched the first 2. We have 2 more to go.
2 more, yeah.
But on that episode, we mentioned Breonna Taylor and said that as of our recording, the officers had not been arrested
Yeah.
or charged, and now I think only one of them has been fired.
One of them has been fired, not charged with anything.
Right.
And the
And
other
this
ones,
is, I'm looking at my wrist.
your
like
naked
a watch.
wrist. I mean, Yeah. And not,
Like, what the
not,
fuck is the holdup?
Not only that, there has been so many other tragic incidents that have come to light over the last few weeks. You're like, what the fuck is going on in this world?
Do you know what's so upsetting is like what you just said. They're just coming to light. They didn't just happen.
Right.
These are things that have been covered up, not covered
Yeah.
in the press. Like
Yeah, I start
a year ago.
I start to see things on social media with a new name. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, this happened again. I'm like, no, this happened a year ago.
Right.
And a very, you would think, clear case, and
Right.
nothing has happened. Anyway, off of that. We also mentioned Community. Elizabeth and I
Community?
started... Community. We started a rewatch. We're on season 2. It is fantastic.
Oh my God. Are we going to do the pilot?
We can.
We can. Let's do it for fun.
It's only 20 minutes.
What an
Listen,
enjoyable rewatch.
And I'm sitting here watching it knowing that the later seasons are not the same. It's gonna go downhill. But holy shit, we're already through 1.5 seasons. They're fantastic. They're so good. I mean, Abed, I think Casey took him in our sitcom character draft.
I think he took him before me. He was someone I was going to take.
I want to redo that draft and take him. He's
He's
mind-blowing.
the best character on TV. I
so
think
good.
he really is. He's like,
And I was researching. I was just researching before this, what else has Danny Pudi done?
yeah, what has he done?
I think he does some voice work,
Okay.
but he's done
Is he a writer?
I don't know.
Because it seems like him and Danny Glover, their little bits at the end of every episode.
Yeah.
It seems it's they have to be an improv team, right? It wouldn't surprise me if he were a writer.
He's definitely been working. His IMDb has stuff in TV and movies for almost every year. But that's one episode on this show, a couple episodes on this show. But I think he's doing fine. I thought he was so good in Community.
Yeah.
And just the way that the show and the writers handle parodying different movie and TV tropes, they do it so expertly.
Yeah. We just watched one of my favorites, which was their bottle episode with the pen. And I just that one has always stuck out to me. And in the end, there's this fucking weird monkey in a vent that has all of Annie's pens. And I really feel at least we're in, like you said, we're in the second season right now. And to me, I don't remember when it started getting not as good, but to me, these first 2 seasons are absolutely flawless.
Yeah.
They are flawless.
I mean, what other shows are so clever and well produced and smart about how they make fun of things, but also the most dipshit slapstick comedy? It just marries them all so well. I'm trying to think 30 Rock, but 30 Rock was more dipshit comedy. It wasn't that super clever.
Yeah.
I mean, 30 Rock is one of my favorite all-time shows.
Yeah.
But man, Community...
So good. Well, you're welcome, because one night we crawled into bed and I just put it on.
Yeah.
I didn't even ask
Well done.
what you
Well
wanted
done.
to watch, and I just put it on. I'm surprised sometimes how, and I knew that they did that there were some characters who were obviously racist, and they do use race as a huge. Maybe I should take back saying that it's flawless, because I think I'm going to take that back, because I think that there are some things where it's just it's it's a little cringy.
Yes.
Especially, yeah, I am going to take back that it's flawless, because I think that Senor Chang is
Not just racist. Racist, sexist,
Yeah.
homophobic.
Yeah. I want to say the making of the show and the way they tell the story might be flawless, but there's certainly
Yes.
some writing in there that's uncomfortable to watch now.
Yes.
That it was uncomfortable to watch when it was out, but it was I feel we were living in a world where you could be oh my God, I can't believe you just said that. That was really fucked up. And now you're watching it and you're holy fucking shit. This was on primetime television?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that long ago? I think they do it in a way. I think they at least try to do it in a way that's somewhat self-aware.
Yeah,
But
they do, and they call attention to it. Like, Pierce makes a racist joke, and people will be like, "Oh my gosh, Pierce! Like, stop!"
Yeah.
But they
think
do it often.
They do it often, and I think that like Troy's character, will kind of be like, "Hey, what's up?" He's kind of like not bothered by anything, and then when there's a racist comment, he's like, "Whoa,"
yeah.
but like doesn't actually correct anyone. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's not that kind of a show. So he and Shirley kind of they do like.
Yeah.
Address it in a way, but it's somewhat uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's still giving a voice to that racist rhetoric.
Yeah.
That is a little bit uncomfortable. That it would be if they're going to do that, I would say in shows going, this was a few years ago, but in shows going forward, if that's going to happen, it needs to be handled. And it's not really like super handled on this,
Yeah. And I mean,
it's tolerated.
In addition to the racist stuff, I mean, Pierce is constantly making gay jokes.
Mm-hmm.
There are times where Chang just screams out like gay.
Yeah.
Sexist stuff all the time. And like, I mean, I guess that's like a cultural question moving forward for comedy. And like some of my favorite comedians, like Nick Kroll has joked about this because Nick Kroll does a flamboyantly gay character on podcasts and TV that he's done for years and years. Fabrice.
Yeah.
And the last time I heard him doing that character, he was in character questioning himself like, I don't know if I could do this anymore.
Yeah.
Next time I'm on, I might not be doing this. So
yeah.
It's a strange, uncomfortable position, but it's one that everyone has to, take a deep look at.
Yeah.
Anyway, as we praise Community and then go into a discussion on
oh wait,
all
here
these-
are its flaws.
Yeah.
Which all shows have, we talk about that on Friends. We talk about that with or we haven't talked about it, but there's every outfit on Sex and the City is a Instagram that I follow, and that goes really into how homophobic Carrie was, and there's this one character. Woke Charlotte, and like it'll like take scenes and like just different quotes from the show and then have Charlotte responding in like the way like correcting that behavior and that language.
So
it's
funny.
great because that was one of those shows where it was like very white New York City in the 90s and early aughts, and it's like that stuff's not okay anymore to like talk about.
So we also watched the full season of Killing Eve, season 3.
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
I didn't love it.
Me neither.
I wanted to, but I just didn't. 1 and 2 were great. 1 was amazing. 2 was good.
Yeah.
I would say 2 was great. And this was okay. It lost something.
It lost something. It lost a little bit of its magic. It felt like sensational to me at times, but like not well done. Like I just remember twice in the season 3 opener, these like insane scenes, like Villanelle gets married to some woman and there's like a giant fight at the wedding.
Yeah.
Because her like old handler shows up and she tackles her old handler, but then it turns into a wedding wide food fight and like people fighting like.
And also, like, she gets married, but we never ever talk about that again, which is kind of like how they handle some things.
Sure.
But it was like a weird way to start the the show.
I will probably watch season 4. I really hope season 4 is the last one.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch it.
I think I will because I'm interested to know where everything ends up.
I'm okay with it ending the way it just ended. I found myself bored a lot.
Here's my other issue with the show in general. For 3 seasons now, like obviously the main focus is on Villanelle and Eve and their relationship and how they're dealing with all this crazy shit happening. But the B story has always been the 12.
Right.
There's this secret organization pulling the strings of all the world governments, and like we need to uncover information about them to find out what's going on and who's who. Mm-hmm. They've been teasing that for 3 seasons.
Right.
We don't know anything about the 12.
Literally nothing.
It's become frustrating. I was starting to get frustrated even in season 1, and then season 2, and then season 3. I'm like, can you fucking tell us anything else?
There's nothing. You think that maybe Constantine is one of the 12 and is Kenny's mother. What's her name?
Caroline.
She's one of the 12 or working for the 12, and then one of her coworkers. But like, we don't know anything. It's just like, maybe this person, maybe that person.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Like, okay.
So, I don't know. I do still think I'll watch season 4. But like I said, just wrap it up.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. Barry hasn't come back yet. Mm-hmm. There are some other shows. Dark season 3 just got put up on Netflix. This will be the final season. I haven't started watching it yet. I'm trying to decide how I want to handle it. If I want to just watch a recap and then dive in. I don't think I want to wait the amount of time it would take me to rewatch the first 2 seasons. Mm-hmm. But I am excited for that one. I think it's one of my favorite shows of recent times. I don't know if I can think of another show personally that is so complex and deals with such interesting topics and doesn't present any like big loopholes. Like everything is so tight and smartly done. Man, it's just a fucking great show.
Yeah, you love that one.
I love that show so much. And you know what? Like, I also don't know any shows that make me feel so smart when I figure things out. Like, it's so rewarding to like call something that's going to happen in that show before it happens.
The way you make me feel. You just sounded so in love when you said that. I don't know any other shows that make me feel. And I was like, what's he going to say? Where's he going with this?
I mean, you know, it's a crazy fantasy sci-fi show that, minor spoiler alert, if you haven't heard anything about Dark, but you're going to watch it, it deals with time travel and paradoxes, and it handles them all so well, but it presents things sometimes where you're like, what the fuck? Like, now this is going to happen?
Okay.
And that happens from season 1 to season 2, and you're like, all right, this is getting a little crazy, but then they handle it so well, and you're like, whoa, this turned out to be awesome. And then from season 2, at the end of season 2, it happens again. You're like, what? Really? And from everything I've heard, they handle it really well again.
Huh.
So,
okay.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch that show. Gosh.
You're in love.
I wish I could easily make the decision to just rewatch the first 2 seasons, because I think it would serve me well just to remind me of what the hell's going on, because there's so much going on. But man, I'm excited to watch that one. Dark on Netflix. Everyone check it out.
Not to be confused with In the Dark.
On
Another
CW.
show we watched.
What else have we been watching? Is that it? I think so. We're watching Community. We have plans to watch Battlestar Galactica.
Right.
All of our other shows have ended. It's fucking July, man. There's no TV on.
Yeah.
Everyone go outside. Go swim in a pool.
Yeah. We're going to take a little break. We're going to stop recording this podcast for a little while.
You keep saying that.
I know, because I feel like I want to catch up on shows that we say that we're going to watch.
Listen, dude, COVID's over and our podcast numbers are going way up again. So now is the time
I saw your graphic on Instagram. It's okay.
No, I've joked about it with people.
Yeah.
Because our numbers have been steadily increasing for 2 years, and then March hit of this year and they dropped March, April, May, because people aren't commuting. That's when I listen to podcasts.
People aren't commuting, and also it's it's not just the commute, but it's like finding time. Even if you don't commute and you listen to podcasts, it's like I felt like for a few months there was no time to do anything you normally did.
Yeah.
It was like you're working all the time in the same space that you relax, and there's like no.
Right.
At least that's how I experienced it.
Yeah.
And also I didn't commute anymore. Yeah, so I stopped listening to podcasts. But I would like to just correct what Bill said. COVID is not actually over.
Yes, it's a comedy podcast. I was joking.
Okay.
But June,
Wear your mask.
what I meant by that was that some restrictions are being
Yes,
lifted.
I know what
and
you meant.
some places are reopening, so people are in the car again, and our numbers for June were way up again.
Well, I'm back at the office, and I've been catching up on all my podcasts. So I'm
See?
sure they're all seeing the same thing.
There you go. There you go.
Including ours.
So we are going to put our foot on the gas. We're going to start doing 2 episodes a week.
Oh, God.
And
Damn it.
we're doing a spin-off podcast just about 911 Lone Star. And so that will be on Wednesday mornings. And then Tribal Pilot will be Tuesdays and Fridays. My other podcast, just myself talking about Dark, is going to be Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, or Fridays.
I'm going to start a podcast about the Halo.
The Halo and
Halo and-
Warrior Nun.
Yeah. So I want to know what can I, now in this time where there's like not that many new shows coming out, but we still need shows to watch. I mean, the possibilities are endless because TV has been around for a very long time.
I would say at least 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. So I may put a few things out on the table
Oh boy.
that I want you to watch. And I think maybe we're going to watch the pilot to Murder, She Wrote.
We can.
All right, guys, I want you guys to vote. Never mind, Bill just said we can, so we're
Let's do
doing it.
You're lucky I'm 2
It's-
double IPAs deep.
It's a long one,
Oh no, never mind.
but we're going to watch it.
How long is it?
It's 2 parts.
2-parter?
2-parter.
That's barely a pot. That's barely a pilot.
No, we got to watch it.
All right.
We're going to watch it.
We'll do Community.
It's like
That's 20 minutes.
so silly. And oh yeah, so we're going to do Community. We'll do Murder, She Wrote. But what else? Let us know, guys.
Yeah. Email us at trialbypilot@gmail.com with your suggestions. Seriously. For those of you that have emailed, you know that we usually will watch the shows that you recommend.
Mm-hmm.
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Trial by Pilot, and go on to Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, subscribe to the show, leave a review, and tell a friend.
And thank you to the Beats for providing our theme music.
Thank you. Beats.
And we'll say again to, arrest the cops that murdered Breonna Taylor and Black Lives Matter. And we have not forgotten that, even though I haven't said it.
In
I
a
think to
week.
In a week. But I still mean it.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.